Hi, my name is CJ Gettlefinger, and today I'm going to teach you about fly fishing and how to cast a fly rod. A brief history of fly fishing to begin with. Fly fishing is considered more of an art form than anything. Uh, there's all different aspects to it. There's fly tying, how you throw the rod, the retrieval. It's more of an art form, and anyone who is really into it will tell you that themselves. It is mainly done for trout all over the world, honestly. But you can catch any type of fish on a fly rod, from bass to saltwater fish, but it's mainly done for trout. And if you skip one, down in rivers, that's where most trout live, and it's mainly fished in rivers. And it is also argued over when and where it was invented. The earliest forms of fly fishing are said to be done in Japan around the 12th or 13th century. But in America, the first fly rod was ever made by a violinist, actually, in around 1840. There's different types of fly rods. Before you learn how to cast one, you need to know what types there are. So fly rods are broken into their weight and their length and then action. Weights for fly rods depend on the type of line, and the smaller weight, the smaller fish you're going to catch, really, and the bigger weight, the bigger fish you're going to catch. So personally, I use like a 5-weight fly rod. It's right in the middle. It can catch small fish, but also has a lot of strength to catch big fish. So anywhere from 2 to 6 is used for like trout, smallmouth bass, smaller fish. Whereas a 6 to 10 weight is used for stronger largemouth bass. And then the 9 and 10 range are even used for saltwater fishing. And then when you go into casting, a different aspect of it is going to be your line type. There's floating line, which is pretty easy to cast. It's pretty light. It floats on the water. There's slow sinking, which is a little bit harder to cast. And then there's a fast sinking. And all the different types of these lines are used for different dry flies or flies that you're going to use with your rod. So how to cast. It's very elegant. A lot of people think of like fly fishing as a strong, heavy whipping back and forth, but it's not really like that. It's a lot slower and more elegant. As I said, you let the rod and the line do most of the work. I've been taught from my favorite book, actually, A River Runs Through It, how fly casting is done. It's considered an art form that is performed on a 4-count rhythm between 10 and 2 o'clock. So the 10 and 2 o'clock is where your rod's going to stay. If you think of being straight up and down as 12 o'clock, you're going to keep the rod in between 10 o'clock in front of you and 2 o'clock behind you. So you're going to start with your line out in the water a little bit and your rod at 10 o'clock. You're going to lift the line and the rod up and toss the line behind you. And you're going to pause back behind you at 2 o'clock. And what you want to do is you want to let the line get all the way straight behind you and straighten out, and you'll kind of feel it on the rod, it'll pull. And then once that happens, you're going to want to power it forward, not too strong, but enough power to get all the line out of there. And you're going to stop at 10 and let the line fall through. So it's that mixture of the pulling the line out of the water, whipping it back, stopping, let it all flow behind you, and then powerfully flinging it forward to let the line all go out in front of you. So here is a video of me showing how to cast the fly rod. As you can see, I am pulling the line out of the water, and here's a better view. I'm pulling the line out of the water, and then I whip it behind me, and then I power it forward to let it get the proper distance that it needs. And one last angle, line starts in 10 o'clock, stop at 2, and let it follow through all the way to the end. So in conclusion, fly fishing is an art form. It's done all over the world. There's many different types and aspects to it. Casting is slow but powerful, and the best way to learn is just to practice. So I hope that this has been informative for everyone, and I hope that everyone gets a chance to go fly fish. It's an amazing thing to do and learn. Thank you. And here are my sources.